Do not be alarmed. It's just a couple of guys. Who are these guys? Ray Regina, beloved former mayor of St. Charles, lifetime educator, and Pat Crimmins, a Geneva lawyer, but he's actually okay. From Elgin to Aurora, from Naperville to Elburn, these guys are gonna talk everything. So, here's Pat and Ray.
Hello, friends. I'm with Pat Crimmins.
Hello.
Ray Regina, and we're here at the Old Repubblic Bar on Randall Road in Elgin. And that, of course, is one of a series of restaurants as part of the 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐩 Group, a long time and faithful sponsor of Just a Couple of Guys. And so we're very happy to talk about some of the different restaurants in the group. In addition to talking about Old Repubblic today, we're also going to take a run down to the Kane County Fair a little later on and see what's going on there. But that'll come later on. In any event, Pat, storms are brewing in the background, but we're still hardy and strong.
Yes, hardy and strong. I love this place. It's like a Wes Anderson movie. Lots of colors.
Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, very vibrant. Very vibrant.
Speaking of colors, by the way, and I hope our cinematographer focuses in on this, we've got a series of drinks that he ordered
That's right.
in front of us here. I have no idea what in any of them, but they're very colorful, like the Wes Anderson movie.
Right. My dad always said, never drink anything green, even the green beer.
Would you like green truffles, though?
I do like green truffles. You could eat those. That's you're not drinking the truffles.
All right.
Yeah,
Now, as part of our summer festival here of events that we're kind of focused on, Nick Smith, the proprietor of this place, will be joining us shortly to talk about some of the food offerings that exist here at Old Repubblic. And later on, again, weather permitting, Chris One Man Jam Minardi will be here, and we're going to listen to some of his music. He's performing tonight from 5:30 to 8:30, and then they like him so much they're bringing him back on Tuesday, August 8th as well. So listen to some of his music. You like it, you want to come out to Old Repubblic. Having said that, we're going to take a small commercial break. When we come back, Nick Smith, proprietor extraordinaire of the Old Repubblic in Elgin, Illinois. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. This is Ray Regina. You face technology challenges every day that threaten to steal business, compromise data, and bring your business down. Without a good partner to help protect from phishing, ransomware, viruses, data breaches, employee turnover, and cybersecurity threats, your business is at risk of losing everything. TechWorks has been the trusted IT partner to Fox Valley businesses for over 20 years, keeping systems secure and providing extraordinary customer service, helping your business grow. Call TechWorks today at 630-482-2227 or visit www.techworks.com. That's TechWorks with a Q, TEQ Works, and see how TechWorks IT service can transform and secure your business. Hello, friends. This is Ray Regina. I'd like to say a few words about my friends at the 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐩 Group of Restaurants, one of our sponsors. I've been a frequent guest at all of their fine restaurants for years, one of which is Rookies, which has locations throughout the Fox Valley and beyond. My favorite dish at Rookies is the gyros plate with the 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐻 appetizer. Oopa! My wife, she loves the Hall of Fame chicken sandwich. But I can honestly say that I've never had a bad meal there, regardless of whatever I've had to eat. The wings are out of this world, the salads are delicious, great burgers, tacos, all American specialties, and don't forget their pizza. And of course, you can wash this all down with one of their famous Mai Tais. Try them out. St. Charles, Geneva, Elgin, Hoffman Estates, Huntley, and Roselle. RookiesPub.com. I'll see you there. And we're here with the king of Old Repubblic, Mr. Munger Road himself, Nick Smith. And by the way, I want to let you know that you've tied the record of just a couple of guys.
Cool.
This is your second interview, and that ties the record for most interviews in a single season.
But it's early yet. It's only July.
I'm going for that SNL, most hosts.
Well, he gets a
the
special
Five Timers Club.
You get a
I voted for you on the Daily Herald, by the way. I want you to know that, only because I like your prime rib. We'll talk about your food in a second. How long have you been here?
The Old Republic opened here in Elgin in 2018. I know that because my daughter was also born in 2018.
All right, so you actually went through
stressful year.
you went through the pandemic then here.
Yeah, we did. We certainly did.
And how did that treat you?
Yeah, pandemic was we obviously met with some challenges as far as our restaurant goes, especially early on in March 2020, when a lot of our news is coming from the television. There was a lot of uncertainty and whatnot, and really, the Old Republic's staff was the driving force behind becoming a kind of a destination in the area during a troubling time. And I mean that because one of the first things we did was, I was trying to keep people busy, trying to keep people staffed and working. We opened a car wash out front, so it was a free car wash if you came and picked up takeout food.
Nice.
There you go.
Came and picked up dinner. We'll wash your car while you're waiting, just to have people out there, and maybe they get a couple bucks tipped and whatnot. And from that, then it turned into you ever heard of the McHenry Drive-In Theater?
Oh yeah.
They were one of the first in the state to give permission to be able to hold outdoor drive-in movies. And we had heard that, and we're right next to the Marcus Theater here in Elgin, and I kind of have a movie background, and it was suggested to me, well, what if we have our own drive-in outside in the parking lot? And it was actually the last day of May in 2020. We had about 250 cars here outside, and we actually showed a movie that night. We had drinks and food and whatnot, just like as if we were an outdoor restaurant. Huge inflatable screen. It was actually taller than the building itself, and people could listen to it on their radio and whatnot. Of course, we showed Munger Road because I have
what a surprise!
I have the permission to be able to show that movie.
I suppose.
And a residual too.
I residualed myself actually. And so from there, we put a big tent outside right in the front of the restaurant. We called it the Taj Mahal of tents. It was the largest tent you've ever seen. I mean, we were the only ones that had one, and it was the only place in the month of June that you could go and actually have a beer, have something to eat outside. And from there, we said, well, this is working pretty well. We only have a patio of about 5 tables at the original Lone Star, which is what was here. What if we build a large patio right next to the building in the parking lot? And we did this where we're sitting basically in 3 weeks, if you can believe that. From parking lot to sitting here was only 3 weeks.
Very impressive.
Now, of course, we had breakfast at Alexander's, and that's another part of the 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐻 group. And we all know Rookies is part of the 𝐓𝐫𝐢𝐻 group as well, and Old Repuvblic. And what else is in the chain of command here?
So we have you say the Squire? Village
Oh,
Squire?
no, I didn't mention the Village Squire.
Village Squire, right?
We got more than one Village Squire. Is that correct?
4 of them, yeah.
Four?
More than one rookies.
About 7 or 8 or 10 or 100 or what?
I'm running out of hands for rookies. I mean, I used to be able to say this, but I think I'm going to need 2 hands now.
That's good. I mean, you're building a small empire. But the point is that, and I think we'll talk about the food here, but I've had dinner in your place, and I've had the prime rib, and it's delicious. And you go in and sit down. Then you have this casual dining, you have bar food here. We had a little talk about some of your favorite bar food specialties here.
Well, I'm a big foodie, so actually
That's why I asked.
I'm really proud of a lot of things that we do here that are unique or different for the area. We have a smoker in the back, so we smoke our ribs, we smoke our turkey breasts for our sandwiches, and we also smoke brisket. That I'm really proud about because that was a kind of a new idea that you would incorporate some smoke items with traditional favorites such as naughty nachos, which I see there. And
Yes, we've had the
nuggets that
nachos. They
I
were
see
good.
there.
Cheese curds were good. Hey, of course, I did the commercial. How about the saganaki?
Opa. All right, saganaki. And then you can.
I was going to say, any other restaurants in the Blueprint stage? You want to spring something here?
I just left the city of St. Charles, actually. So
a scoop. Paul, a scoop here coming.
We'll have to stay tuned about that.
You're killing me here now.
Way early. It's way early.
Tuned.
Can we talk about other things? You got great food, wonderful place, Wes Anderson movie. You have music offerings all the time. Everybody I talk to about this place always talks about the music.
Yep.
So what? Every night of the week, or?
We have music just about every night of the week, except for on Wednesdays. We have free live trivia, and I just found this out. The trivia show here, it's 8 o'clock every Wednesday, is actually the third largest trivia show in the entire country.
Wow!
That's how many people come to play trivia here. It's about 160 people. It's about 25 teams or so.
Future podcast.
I agree with that, but that'll make it 3 times. but how's that? Or how do you organize that? I mean, you got 160 people here on trivia contest. I know they're teams, but how do you keep turning into chaos?
So the company we use is actually a really nice, streamlined company. We put all the questions on the television. Any television you can see out here. Outside, we have about 20 TVs or so, and the big screen TV behind us. But also, you're playing on your phone. You don't have to get up. There's no paper.
All right.
It's really actually very organized chaos, as they say.
Well, if it's every Wednesday night and you have all these people coming, they're lured by the fact that there's probably something at the end of the rainbow. What are the prizes here?
Yeah, so we've actually played 2 games back to back, 8 to 9 and 9 to 10. At both of those games, there's a first, second, and third prize. First prize is $30. Second prize is $20 gift card, and the third prize is a $10 gift card.
Wow.
Broad-based topics, or do you have a specific topic on a given night?
There's always 10 categories, and then a mystery round, and it's kind of like Jeopardy, where you can wager, however many points you would like, and you would be surprised how many people dive bomb, for that mystery, bet whatever you'd like to, in terms of.
Sounds like the podcast could host that trivia night. We could turn 160 into 320.
There you go. Sox trivia all night.
Who's the worst team in baseball at the moment? White Sox. I don't hide that. Back to Pat's question with the bands. I know I missed this because I was out of commission, but you had a Chicago.
Coming Saturday.
This Saturday. Yeah, we're tied up here, but. Not literally. A Chicago band, though, huh?
Yeah.
They're the best.
The Chicago experience, yeah.
You want to be the next Fitzgeralds here? What do you want?
Well, the next weekend after that on Sunday, we have a vintage swing band coming on Sunday. So
Glenn Miller.
We really do try to mix it up and not just have, cover bands. We really have everything from Billy Joel, Elton John cover band, which was here last week.
Right.
We had a 90s concert here on Saturday.
We
talked about Chicago this upcoming weekend. And then we're going to follow that right up with, swing dance. So actually right over here on this brick area, we even have wrestling shows here, if you can believe that.
What shows?
Wrestling. Not mud wrestling. Now, Pat's interested in mud wrestling, but this is regular wrestling.
Men or just women? Or
no,
what's the deal?
It's mostly men, but there are women that wrestle, actually. The ring goes right exactly where the brick is, right over that fire pit. And we turn this into one big arena, actually. You got seating up there. You got seating up there. This all becomes one big wrestling arena.
How many different matches in the course of a given night?
About 8 to 10. It's about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour show, actually.
If you will.
Yeah?
Gambling allowed.
Oh, yeah, I gamble.
Well, I mean, do you get to, see how muscular people are before you gamble?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. Is there a stress test?
Actually, the first show, I was looking at the card, and the guy's name was Mr. Fitness 2. Mr. Fitness 2, right?
Mr. Fitness 1 died of a heart attack.
I'm thinking that this guy is going to come out and he's going to be this Olympic athlete, just shred, absolutely ripped. And this guy comes out in this luchador mask. He's about 150 pounds overweight. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he's holding a shake weight.
I know
And
this
I
guy.
realized the gimmick. I was like, all right, Mr. Fitness. I kind of liked it. I was like, he was a bad guy, too.
Yeah.
He played it really well.
All right, what can you tell us about Mr. One-Man Jam himself here, Chris Minardi?
So this is actually really cool. Chris Minardi was actually the first ever musician to play at the Old Republic in 2020. We had never had music before. He was the first guy to be here. And the only reason why we have music at the Old Republic is really kind of ironic and funny. But that tent I mentioned earlier, there was a concrete curb for the parking lot that was under the tent. It was just wasted space. So I said to myself, well, we can't just have this wasted space under this tent. Why don't we put a stage over this big concrete island so that we at least we're hiding it? And if we're going to have a stage, why don't we have somebody play music on it? So we had Chris Minardi come out, and people loved it. And then from there, we built the stage behind us, and the rest was history.
He's also a guy that can help you with sheetrock, because Menards is our. That's down the street.
Am I correct that once in a while you, and I don't even say this because I think she came to our table the night we were here for dinner, you got your mom working in there, don't you?
I do, but they're actually in
not today.
they're actually in Europe still. We're still celebrating Spitstock here.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yes.
she comes every night.
There you go.
Yep. Parents are out of town.
Well, that's a long party.
Yeah, no, it's-
because you and I talked about Smithstock a month ago, I think. So
What's the? What do you see yourself? I'm serious now. This is a very, very serious question. 10 years from now, Karis, of course, you're linked to Karis and you're involved with them. But where do you see yourself 10 years from now, as far as an entrepreneur is concerned?
I'll be in Montana,
Montana,
retired.
you know, we just
Missoula,
off-
Bozeman, or
sitting-
some other place.
Sitting outside a trailer with the Badlands. I'm gonna go
The
somewhere in
Badlands.
You know, the podcast might be for sale soon. So if you're interested,
I joke about that often. So I'm going to retire to Montana. I'm going to leave my phone.
no,
here.
you don't seem like the retirement guy.
Maybe not.
So this was a creature of the pandemic
It really was.
and your creative mind.
It really was.
That's
And
amazing.
What also happened with the pandemic in a positive way is because a lot of restaurants, especially chain restaurants, were struggling with not having outdoor space or outdoor availability and staying within the guidelines. A lot of good staff members came here almost as a harbor because their jobs were gone. They had nowhere else. They had nothing else they could do. They couldn't work in the industry that they really liked. So we met a lot of people during the pandemic, staff that are still here to this day that I otherwise wouldn't have met. They would have stayed at, whether it be Applebee's or Buffalo Wild Wings or, a lot of good restaurants in the area.
Nice.
A two-part question. Is there a glut of restaurants, let's say from Algonquin to Aurora?
Good restaurants? No.
Yeah, I see. You didn't qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next part of the question would be, I mean, there seem to be a lot of restaurants. Now, whether they're all good or not, I know my favorites, but how do you stay competitive in a seemingly a competitive market here?
Honestly, I think it's really easy. You just be good. I mean, really, I think that it's as a company, all the brands that we just talked about, Alexander's, Village Squire, Rookies, Old Republic, our mission statement, which goes back about 40 years, is to make our customers happy. And if we don't, to know about it and to fix it.
Right.
And I know it sounds really simple, but for the most part, when you're walking around tables or if you're at a place or whatnot and somebody asks you, well, how is everything? 98% of the time you're going to say everything's perfectly fine, right? It's good. Everything's good, even if it's not. So to know about that, if there's something that needs to be corrected or needs to be fixed, that's part of the real trick. And then to have the ability to fix it or correct it is actually important, and it's difficult. So I know it's a simple mission statement, but it's really hard to sometimes achieve because it's much easier to say it's fine, everything's good.
Well, it seems as though, if I may,
Go ahead.
you're succeeding in the mission statement because you wouldn't be able to open these places and continue to succeed without success with the mission statement.
Sure.
Yeah.
It seems like Mr. Minardi over here is about ready to make his move.
Yeah.
And so,
And hammers are on sale, 3 for $1.
I'm glad you guys are here. I just want to end with this. I just got this email today, so I'm serious now. You mentioned the Daily Herald that you voted, right?
I did.
So here's the results. 2023
We got
Daily
news.
Herald Reader's Choice. This
Yep.
has not been heard yet.
All right. Paul loves to be a scoop on anything.
All right. Best burger. Last 4 years. Best burger.
What kind of burger? A Hilltop or
The number one is the Hilltop.
Hilltop Burger?
Hilltop Burger. Best outdoor eatery. Best place for a reunion, which we do a lot of reunions here.
Class of '79.
Best ribs. Best entertainment venue. Best bachelorette party place. Best beer garden. Best bar. Best business lunch. Best wings. Best live music.
Wow.
Best sports bar. And the best value. 2020.
To say nothing of the mud wrestling.
It didn't get to that.
Well, that's just a little frosting
It wasn't
on
a
the cake.
category.
So,
If it were a category, he would have won that.
Best mud wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're very proud to have an association with the Karas Group, and we're happy that we've had a chance to come over here and talk to Nick a little bit more. And my guess is he may set the record for all time number of interviews at some point in time before Paul sells the podcast to somebody else.
I see just a couple of guys corner over here in the future, though.
All right, we're gonna take a small break, and then when we come back, we're gonna hear from Chris One Man Jam Minardi. Stay tuned.
To be seen after so long ago. By the way you look, I understand you were not impressed. I heard you let that little friend of mine pick up your party dress. I'm not gonna get too sentimental like those other sticky Valentines. I don't know if you were loving somebody. Yeah, I wanna know if it wasn't mine. I know this world is keeping you. Oh, my aim is true. Well, she got a husband now. I didn't give her pretty fingers like in the wedding cake. Used to hold right in your hand. I bet it took all you could take. Sometimes I wish that I could stop talking when I hear the silly things that you say. But I think somebody better put out the green light, 'cause I can't stand to see you this way. I know this world is keeping you. Oh, my aim is true.
At McNally Heating and Cooling, we understand that customer satisfaction starts with arriving at your home on time. Your service technician will apply the same attention to detail and quality workmanship to every job, large or small. We offer upfront, honest pricing, and we'll make sure the job gets done right from start to finish. From furnace and air conditioning service, minor repairs, or total equipment replacement, we do it all. Give us a call or find us online and let the luck of the Irish work for you.
We're back, and of course, we just left the Old Republic north on Randall Road, where Pat and I had an enjoyable conversation with Nick Smith.
Very nice.
And we changed some clothes, and now we've come down here to the fair, and here we are in the Prairie Events Center with the president of the Kane County Fair Board, an old friend, Larry Breon. Larry, good to see you, and thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for coming down. It's great to have you guys here.
Well, the fair is an institution here. How many years strong?
154.
154 years. I wonder what it looked like. Pictures of what it looked like back
Well, I missed a couple years, but I was here for most of them. I had a couple years the shoes didn't fit, so I couldn't come. But otherwise than that.
All right, so we're taping here on Friday, and of course, The fair will run through Sunday. So I guess right out of the gate, in order to have our listeners know what to expect here, if they're coming on either Saturday or Sunday,
Well, here's what.
take us on a tour of the whole fair.
I'll give you a little bit of a whole roundup of the thing. One thing we do here at the fair that I think is kind of important is we can park for free. So we have plenty of parking, and it's free. We don't charge you for parking. Admittance to get on the grounds for Saturday and Sunday will be $10. We have a grandstand area that will cost you a little bit extra to get in there. On Saturday, we have bull riding. On Sunday, we're going to have a demo derby.
Nice.
So, we can watch that. We have on-grounds free acts. When I say on-grounds free acts, we have pig racing. Now, you can't have a fair without pig racing. You gotta have that. The little kids love that thing. It's generational. They come
Is
back.
there any
It's
side bets on the
well, you can do that. Yeah,
You got a book here.
yeah. It's a little bit of a deal, but no, we
We
won't.
gotta give
We won't
Caesar.
do
We
it.
gotta give. You got a sponsorship with Caesars.
That's right.
Yeah, Caesar's book. Nah, that we tried it, but no, they don't want.
All right, they don't
Okay.
want to book
Anyhow, we have that. We have a new act this year on the on grounds. We have Rhinestone Roper, a gentleman with a couple of horses, and he does tricks with the horses and ropes and pistol shooting, and it's a really nice show. And he brings the kids in, and they participate. You need to see that. We have a magic show. We have a petting zoo. All that stuff is free. You can just wander around and look at it. We have signs up by the shows that say, the show's going to be at 2:00. The next show, 4:00. Whatever it is, you can see them all that way. You can wander around and take a look at the shows. We have a guy cutting, making pictures out of the wood carving, with a chainsaw. And he's a good guy. I mean, he talks to you. You ask him something, he'll stop and talk to you.
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have a car show. People bring in their remodeled cars, redone pickup trucks. Great crowd, great
You have
people.
a place for Corollas, old Corollas?
I think they're just short of that, but
Okay.
we could look into it.
All right.
It's
Thanks.
something to look forward to.
Larry, talk about the food here, because walking in, I can just smell a lot of different flavors here.
Well, of course, you got to have the cotton candy. You got to have the lemonade shake-ups. You got to have the elephant ears. You got to have the stuff that my doctor says isn't good for me. But I don't listen to him during 1 week.
Yeah.
I see.
You just got to have
a sabbatical, if you will.
Well, yeah, you got to have that kind of stuff, and we have, of course, all that kind of thing. The quote unquote, I call it fair food, not great food, not medium food, but fair food.
Fair food.
You got to bring that stuff into it.
F-A-R-E. Fair.
No.
Okay. Yeah. There's no drum roll, but it's close.
This particular week, we've part of the area. I know not the fairgrounds. We talked offline about this, but part of the week we've had some horrific weather north. And the question, I guess, is just simply, how do you deal with if you know for a fact that bad weather is on its way? How do you deal with that?
Well, of course, we don't. The main thing is we don't want anybody to get hurt. I mean, that is by far number one priority. Nobody get hurt. If we know that bad weather, when I say bad weather, I mean the really horrific winds and the lightning and stuff, we shut all the rides down, get everybody off the fairgrounds that we can, and that's of course a big job. In my many years here, I think it's only happened once or twice. We try to get everybody out of the fairgrounds, we get everybody off the rides, and the ones that we can't get done before the storm hits, we get into the more structured buildings, which is the Prairie Event Center, that the authorities have told us are the ones to come into, and we do that. That's all you can do. I mean, you do the very best you can. Fortunately, we have never, ever had any super bad weather. We've just had some rain. I mean, never had any winds of any consequence. So just hope for the best and do the best you can.
Okay.
Now, as we talked about a little bit earlier, I lived a couple of blocks from the
Sure.
fairgrounds, and so I've heard it all and I've seen it all. But for the young adults who might want to come here and have a beer and listen to some music, you've got bands and everything else, right?
Yes, we do. We call it the Miller Lite Sound Stage at the beer tent or beer garden. You come over to that. It costs nothing to come in. You don't need to even have a beer. Just come in and listen to the band. So
Sure.
if you want to, We have various bands over the period of the next 2 days and different kinds of music. If the music that's being played isn't to your liking, come back in an hour and a half, 2 hours. It'll be a different band. It'll change.
Yeah, I see Saturday night we have the Hillbilly Rock Stars.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we have High Infidelity.
Yeah, we
7
end up
p.m.
with High Infidelity, and that's one of the more popular bands in the Chicagoland area.
Sure.
So, we try to have a little bit of variety, a little bit of something for everybody, and it doesn't cost you a dime. If you, like I said, if you don't like it, come back.
That's right.
There'll be something different.
Now, do you have a website or something where people can get information?
KaneCountyFair.com. Get on the website. They'll give you all the times and what bands are being played and what's in the grandstand and all the costs. We have armbands, deals for the rides. Many people, of course, the rides are a big thing. They enjoy that, and it's rightfully so. We have armband deals. Buy an armband and ride for X amount of hours, all you want.
Nice.
And that's what you need to do if you're going to ride the rides, to get an armband. It's by far a bargain.
And of course, security.
Yeah.
I was confronted at the gate.
Well,
everybody's
Rightfully so.
I was just going to say that.
Rightfully so.
I'm glad they recognized you.
Everybody was doing their job competently, and so it's great to know that everybody's going to be safe. So I just wanted to talk a little bit, Larry, about how you got this job and a little bit about yourself.
How I got this job, boy, that's a really interesting question. I was a 4-H'er. I grew up as a 10-year-old 4-H'er, so I've been in the...
And for the audience, that is...
I've been in the game forever. Projects all through the years. As a matter of fact, the very first year that the county fair was at this location, our 4-H club donated the flagpole.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere there's an 8x10 glossy of me helping put up the flagpole the first year the fair was here. So I've been at this location for a long time.
Let me stop you here. Was it somewhere else before it was here?
Oh yeah, it was in Wing Park in Elgin, and it was at Aurora Downs. It's been
I didn't know that.
4 or 5 places over the years.
Wow.
Wing Park was the one immediately ahead of this location.
Huh?
And of course, when we talked a little bit about that, when it was here at first, east of us was cornfields.
Right.
Wasn't town. You had to go a ways to get to town.
Right.
It was out in the middle of nothing.
As I told you, we had a baseball field where the apartments are there on Randall.
Yeah, and so things
have changed.
Things have changed. Randall Road was a very poor 2-lane township road. It was
Carriages.
It was half gravel and half blacktop and just half crud.
Abe Lincoln.
It was nothing. It was bad. But anyhow, that's so I did that, and I kind of grew up through the system, and then I became a 4-H leader as I got grew out of being a 4-H'er. I'm a farmer at that point, and going on with it, and I was asked to get on the board of directors of the fair, and became the board member, and over the years became president. And
How big is the board?
Look at you.
7 people.
Okay.
And here I am talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Now,
We're happy.
The board oversees not only, of course, the fair, or is it a separate board for the fair versus all the other activities you have going on here?
It's one board that runs the whole fairgrounds year round. And this facility is used year round.
Yes.
We rent it out all the time. The fair is really the only event that we put on personally. Everything else is rented out and someone else does it. We just have the facility, maintain the facility, do that kind of thing. We remodeled the fairgrounds as to what you see now 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
Built this building, did the interior. I've said over the years that the fair always had 2 seasons.
Right.
We had dust and we had mud, and now we don't have either.
Like you told me earlier that you're not affiliated with the county government.
No.
So how do you raise money to pay for these things?
We through rentals, through doing things, renting a facility out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we have absolutely the county board and the Kane County Fair. The only thing that keeps us the same is the word Kane County.
Maybe that's why you're doing so well.
Well, I wouldn't want to say that, but anyway, no, we're really not affiliated with the county government at all.
Larry, how many people do you expect will pass through the gates here between the starting point on Wednesday and the Sunday when you close out?
We would obviously would have liked 60,000. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
I can see that in the cards. I mean, Wednesday, Thursday were minimal. Today is not that great. So we're getting down to 2 days and it's not gonna happen.
Okay. But if half of that comes through, you're still.
Oh, it'll work. I mean, we'll make it happen. We've been in the game long enough to know that things don't always turn out just the way you'd like it. Not many things do always turn out the way you like it. Every now and then you hit a home run, and every now and then you hit a single. And sometimes you pop out, but we just don't want to pop out too often.
Next year, maybe we advertise just a couple of guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Next year's another game.
Okay.
There's always another game next year.
But not next year, but say next month. One of your signature events here every month, at the beginning of the month, is the flea market.
10
right?
months. 10 months out.
10 months out of 12.
10 months out of the year, we have the flea market. That's a weekend event. First Sunday of the month and the Saturday preceding that. It happens on, like I said, 10 months. And we have various events that come around like maybe 4 times a year or 6, they come in various stages and they're regular. And obviously we do those kinds of things. We have lots of parties on weekends, lots of weddings, lots of anniversaries, lots of those kinds of things.
I did not know that there's a wedding venue. I did not know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's surprising that we have a lot of that kind of thing. We have 4 separate rooms that we can rent out in any one weekend at 4 separate events at a time that are all about the same size, the same quality, and
I think I looked in each one of them trying to find the room. So yeah, I thought they were basketball courts.
but they can hold a large number of people, and so I guess, and I can't say this with certainty, but fairly certain, probably the first 6 months of next year you can't get a weekender rented.
Well, so it seems to me that the fairground, the utility of this spot is quite good over the course of a 12-month period. It's a good utility for the whole surrounding economy, if you will.
Yeah, it's your ex-city government did a survey on it, and a weekend that we have any kind of a major event, the restaurants are full, the motels are full, and everything.
It's music to all the tri-cities.
No, but I mean, it is an economic engine.
Absolutely, no question about it.
It does kick everything.
And prior,
up a
you
little
guys,
bit.
you talked about the fact that you worked together.
Well,
Well, when Ray was mayor, we
Right.
did things, and obviously we're in the city of St. Charles, so anything we do, we go to the city and discuss it and stuff.
he will tell you we were very cooperative.
Ray worked very well. No, you did.
I appreciate that.
No, you did. If you didn't, I'd tell you didn't. But,
Yeah. He's a farmer. He'll tell
yeah,
you.
no, I would. I'd tell you. But no, you did very well.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate that. Well, listen, I have one more question.
Sure.
For this bull riding, could they get people out of the stands to ride?
No, absolutely not.
I was kind of wondering whether we could get Pat to ride a bull.
No, she wants
There's
to.
plenty of bull.
She wants to. Yeah, she has little bull. But anyway, there's plenty of that going on. But we're just afraid she'd hurt the animal.
Yeah,
animal.
I understand.
Is that
Well,
a weight? Is that a weight chunk?
We're gonna meander out into the fair here in a few minutes and find a couple other things to perhaps
Absolutely.
discuss. So I appreciate very much.
I appreciate
very
you-
much
appreciate
you
you being
taking
here.
the time
Thanks,
to come
Larry.
in.
Appreciate you
It's
being
a
here.
nice little cool respite on a relatively hot day here. That's KaneCountyFair.com. You get all of the events for tomorrow and Sunday, and you want to come out here, and it's a nice family event and
Cotton candy.
and a
You
reasonable
bet. You
price.
get cotton candy.
That's right.
I think I saw a turkey leg over there too.
There are turkey
Oh,
legs.
boy.
All right, boy, we can't do any kind of event without turkey legs. Swedish days,
There you go.
windmill, and now the fair.
Is it the
turkey
same
legs.
vendor, you think?
I don't know, but turkey
Yeah.
legs seem to follow us
Just
around.
follow you around.
That's exactly
Can't
right.
beat it.
We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Pat and I are walking around the fair, and we find 2 fairgoers here, Diane Cullen and Cindy Ketchum.
Just a couple of strangers as we're walking around.
And guess what? Right in front of these, several options So I thought we'd ask them what their favorite foods are here. Cindy, if you had to look at it, we've got turkey legs over here, we got burgers, we got Italian and Polish sausage, corn dog and cheesesteak. Which one of these?
I would probably do the foot-long hot dog, maybe.
Foot-long hot dog.
Wow.
That sounds good.
It's bold.
With everything on it?
Instead of staying with you for one night, we'll stay with you for a whole week.
Diane, how about you?
Well, I know you just talked about a lot of really good things, but I see some hot pretzels here that I think would really go with Cindy. But we just saw down this way they've got some very wonderful pina colada combinations. Mango pina colada, blueberry pina colada.
I like pina colada.
Alcohol or no alcohol?
No alcohol. Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know if they make them with alcohol.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We have to get a
Looks
brace.
mighty tasty. That's right.
And gumbo corn dogs.
Well, how
because-
about you, Pat? If you, no, seriously, if you had to select one of these, and they said, we'll give it to you on the house, which one would you
Well,
pick?
the podcast mailbag has been commenting on my weight so much that I can't eat fair food anymore, at least for a while. I'm working on it, everybody.
Well, I'll tell you right now, to me, there's no question. If that Philly cheesesteak is anywhere close to either Gino's or Pat's in Philadelphia, then that's the one to get. But a close second, the turkey leg, because we really have a fondness for the turkey leg. We talked to Larry about that. Sweetie Stays, Windmill Fest, and now the fair.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. So listen, you got all kinds of options. They've told you about some of the other ones, and there's a beer tent, by the way.
Oh, I've heard, yeah.
And so don't worry, you can get beer here
And
too
there's
as well.
smoke about it. The smell.
The smell of the fair is
The
here.
smell of victory.
Yes. So we'll be right back. We're going to go somewhere else, and so stay tuned.
When you think of the Kane County Fair, you also think about the animals. And here we have, I don't know the name, I'm going to call you Pat the pig. And he seems relatively large. He's living large in a bunch of wood chipping. And he seems kind of feisty.
Well, as opposed to the rest of the pigs that are all taking a nap,
Right.
he's the only one that shows any kind of life, and it looks to me like he's about ready to go down for the count.
Jack Nicholson and one who flew over the cuckoo's nest, he didn't take his meds. He's outsmarted everybody. Right?
You know the old line in finance: bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. I don't want to. I hope that's not the case with this guy
I
here.
feel sorry for pigs, generally. I try not to eat bacon, as a general rule. But sometimes I can't help it.
Well,
See what I'm saying? I'm with you. I'm one.
I'm glad you gave him a name, Pat. And Pat, nice to know you, and I hope that you have a wonderful life.
It's a wonderful life. George Bailey and the pig.
We are live in the pig barn, in the swine barn.
Swine. Nice.
I'm ready when you are, St. Charles. I'm looking for my winners over here. I'm trying to give away some money to some winners. I'm giving out $150 cash to every winner over here, guys. That's right. You want to make some money? Come talk to me. I got you. $10 spent right here. You beat this hang time. Yep, you get this money.
Pat, this long day of ours is about to come to a close.
Very long day, right? But I've enjoyed everything.
Both the Old Republic and Nick Smith, what a gracious host. Larry Breon here at the fair pointed out all the good things about the fair. You get out here Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
And go to Old Republic.
and go, oh, absolutely. Ready to try that prime rib. So, for our cinematographer
That's good.
and publisher of Fox Valley Magazine,
And his
Kevin-
lovely wife.
and his lovely Kevin Ketchum and his lovely wife,
That's right.
and for our crack producer,
Crack.
Paul Stuckel, the owner of Nexus Publishing,
Tax purposes.
and for my partner Pat Crimmins, Ray Rogina from the Kane County Fair, wishing you all a pleasant weekend. Stay safe. So long, everyone.